And we're back.
We're back.
We are back.
Technical hiccup.
Oh, God.
Change phones.
That was dreadful.
Sorry about that.
I am sorry. That was
Let's
horrible.
restart from scratch.
All right.
And say
hey,
hello, everyone.
Hey, welcome to the Standing Room. Stories from the Standing Room, episode 3, everyone.
Rome.
We're going to go back to ancient Rome. Real quick, can we do a mic check? This is going to be a podcast, audio podcast as well. So can you give us hearts if you are still there? I don't even know if we're on. Can you tug them for a second?
Yeah.
Real quick, okay.
Carry on talking till I see
just-
someone's
yeah.
on.
I don't know. I'm going to go and
A
see
little
if we
red light came on, but I haven't got...
Oh, is it? Oh,
Oh, I saw... Yeah, a heart, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so can you hear
okay.
this?
Can you
Yeah.
hear us? You can hear. If you can hear our fingers tapping, that means our mic is working.
Yeah, you can. Thank
They're
you.
so helpful.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thanks, everybody.
So, sorry about the technical hits. Let's get back into the vibe.
Yeah. We are talking about ancient Rome.
Washing and all kind of things.
Yes, and what were you saying about you washing tonight?
Oh, I wash because I was getting into the Roman vibe, but it's okay because we're doing the Vikings next week, so I don't have to wash.
Chewy.
Apart from baby's blood or something.
Honey, I guess they probably
yeah.
was. Yes.
But yes.
Well, wait a minute. Why? The Romans were very clean. Not only did they have amazing sewer systems.
Yeah, and here's actually, which you don't even realise, here's a little scraper for scraping off dead skin.
From the inside of the
when
ears?
This
is how old
no,
is this?
it's for after you have a sauna.
So where would you scrape? Where does this go?
You just scrape off, you'd oil your body as an extra cleaning, because they would clean in the bath, and then they would just take off, use that after
like
having a
scrape
sauna.
like this
it
kind
will
of
be
scrape?
longer, the end's broken off,
Oh,
so
I
it will be
see.
about 6 inches long.
It looks like it might hurt. You did that. Okay.
Yeah. So,
All right, so this is how old is this?
Oh, it's about 2,000 years.
This is a 2,000-year-old skin scraper from ancient Rome. For our podcast, we'll put that on our Facebook page and our website.
Of that. So,
that's interesting.
Yeah, I forgot. I don't know if I've ever shown you that.
No, I've never seen that. It looks like it might hurt.
Well,
Okay.
well, it wouldn't hurt. That's why it's not sharp, by the way. It's just got enough just to invigorate the skin. It actually feels quite nice.
It's exfoliation.
Yeah, if I show you what I mean.
Husband, we don't need to do this now.
Look, there we go.
That feels nice.
It feels quite nice.
That feels really
It's not
lovely.
sharp at all.
Okay, husband, I need to ask you, do you have your subligacaloons on?
I got my leather ones on.
Yeah, I bet you do. Do you know that also that means that's Roman for underwear, or Latin for underwear, I should say, or loincloth, really. Are you wearing one of those? How about a codpiece? You wearing a codpiece?
That's much too late. We're doing Romans. We haven't moved on to that period.
Sorry. All right. Okay, so we are going to be doing ancient Rome. Oh, they like the fact that you're wearing a codpiece.
Okay. No, they're ahead of themselves.
Oh, okay. All right. So,
and in fact, interrupting here, in Herculaneum, there are lots of scenes of Roman life, and there are quite a few photographs of Roman women sunbathing in bikinis.
They are sunbathing in bikinis, and I've seen on the Grecian pots
eating olives.
They're actually all
in bikinis,
eating olives in bikinis with a legal system in place, irrigation and farming and underfloor heating.
Yeah, important over here. Yeah, important here.
That's totally true. Underfloor heating. These guys, thank God for the Romans.
Yeah, I'm really into the Romans.
But they were here, where we are, for 400 years.
Yes, they twice as long as America. They were here. So
That's
they've
true.
been here quite. They were here quite a long time.
Yep. And what we're
and
going
they left quite a lot of ghosts. Too, we'll be talking about.
Yes, tonight we're
surprisingly a lot of ghosts. In fact, there are hundreds of people don't realise there are hundreds of sightings of ghosts of Romans in the UK.
Really?
Yeah, but people think, oh no, it's too far away. But there are still there have been hundreds of different sightings of Roman spectres across Britain.
Well, we have three stories tonight. We also have a chance for these guys later on as we grow, because we are going to be taking stories from the Standing Room globally, because we think it's a lot of fun to bring you history and horror and folklore. And we'd like to be able to take this...
strange and general interesting spooky facts.
Tales from the arcane. Yeah. So what does the arcane mean? Mysterious, the occult, the unknown. It's not just ghost stories.
All kinds of things which are just interesting, slightly spooky, maybe just slightly out there.
Yeah, so really anything can funnel through. So, they like that.
Good.
Good. What we would like is your stories, your tales of the arcane. And also we're going to give you a chance to look at that. They love it. We're also going to give you a chance to not only submit your own stories, and we might even be making books.
Yeah, what we're going to do in future is what we kind of have members in future. But the members will everyone who sends a story in,
yes,
we will publish in a book which you can buy off Amazon.
Yep.
So every year we have a year book. So if you send us the stories, the ones that we choose to publish. Yep. We will be putting on Amazon, and then you can be in the book, and then you can buy it from Amazon.
They like that. Good, good, good. So podcasters, podcast land.
And you can, and also other things you'll be doing. And when we talk about the objects in future, not at the moment, but in future, you'll be able to go into competitions and win them and have the ancient objects yourself.
We're going to do drawings. So basically, let's show them, can we show them this? Do you want to tell them what this is
Yeah,
first?
the Roman dice, yeah.
Okay, yes. This is 2,000 years old.
There we go. I've thrown it. There we go.
Well, they can't see that.
I know that, but I just thought I'd throw it because it was a dice.
Okay, well, tell them about it while I go up and show them.
Okay.
This is something that we're going to be able to throw into the... Oh, they like that. The pot, so you can win. This is the kind of stuff we want to be able to bring you because it's easier for us to get them.
It's a Roman dice, which was played with 2,000 years ago, and I still play with. If I'm playing a game.
He does still play with it.
I just realised I'm shouting here like I'm shouting towards the camera.
Yeah, they're really about an inch away from you. So I think
I'm going to stop shouting.
They like it.
I've forgotten I got a mic.
That's okay.
On, so
we're learning.
Much more.
Thank God for Anne Kelly.
Okay.
Friends and family.
If I'm playing a game, I still use that dice. If I'm playing Monopoly or something, so I use that.
Is it wood?
And it's bone.
It's bone.
Yeah.
Really? What kind of bone?
You
don't know?
Oxbird, something thick.
It's interesting that it's 2,000 years old. This would be really cool to have. So we're going to give you a chance to win things like this.
Not quite yet, but in future we will be doing all kinds of things like you can win the objects and download free artwork.
Right.
And have your stories published in our books.
Yeah, we're also going to have special episodes for you. Also, before we go into the Roman ghost stories, this is a Roman wedding ring. Oh, they like it.
You wore as an engagement ring.
Husband gave this to me as an engagement ring. And the neat thing about this is it fell apart in many different pieces in Bakersfield at a bike night for a radio station I was working for. And this was found on the floor at bike night, and it was actually reassembled by a Bakersfield jeweler. Want to shout out to Don Clark Jewelers. I believe that's the name of the jeweler because they put it together. They said, we don't even know what the metals are in this ring. And I couldn't wear it. It's just not sturdy enough to be a wedding ring. But how old is this, husband?
It's the same to about 2,000 years.
It's beautiful. And so I don't know if you can see the weaving on that, but we'll put
so it kind of exploded in the middle of wherever
it did. It was horrible.
Rosedale or whatever.
It was in Rosedale. How do you know so much?
I don't know. I just think
so
remember that.
Okay, so we want to include you in that for the podcasters. We will put pictures of these up at the new website, which is extremely bare right now. It's storiesfromthestandingroom.com. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/storiesfromthestandingroom. But let's
we need to get into some spooky tales.
I'm going.
Ghost time.
I know it is ghost time. All right. So here we go. All right. So our first story is. Do you want to? I'll let you tell one. How about if you tell the story called "Well, Well, Well"?
Well, maybe not that one first, because that one's only in a Roman room. But the story is medieval, so I kind of. What do you think?
I think they want to see it. They want to hear it.
Well. Okay.
Yeah.
In Exeter, which is about 25 miles away from here.
They have an Exeter too. Bakersfield does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Go.
Yeah. Anyway, Exeter, the original Exeter.
Yeah.
Was a Roman city. It was a major garrison city. It was a large Roman city, and in the middle is the cathedral, and underneath the cathedral is the Roman bathhouse and all kinds of general imperial buildings, offices, and stuff like that. The centre of the town, and on the edge of where the cathedral is now, you've got the green outside the cathedral. There's an inn called the Well House. It looks more like a bar from a pub, but if you go down the steps, you enter what is essentially a Roman room with a Roman well in the middle.
Yes.
And you can look down the well. So you've got a circular stone well in the middle of this room with a Roman floor. So it was and so the top of the room is medieval, the bottom of the room is Roman, because they kind of built on the surviving Roman house.
The strange thing for, I think, a lot of our viewers and listeners would be to have a well inside a room. I don't think that's very American for us. I don't know.
No, well, it wouldn't be. You wouldn't have then, but I think it would be like a kitchen. It would be an outer covered kitchen area.
Handy, that.
And if it was raining, you had to go get some water, then you wouldn't get wet.
Oh, that's really handy.
If you think about it, because
We
it would have
need
been
one of those.
it was part of a larger house,
Yes.
and it was like a laundry area.
Okay.
See it as a laundry,
Okay.
and then your water supply is in the middle of the laundry.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Yeah.
that's why. So this is called the Well House in Exeter. And what's particularly spooky about the Well House is, apart from it's haunted, it also has, I can't remember if it has one or two skeletons. It supposedly has two skeletons, but one of the skeletons is on show
What?
on a shelf.
How old is it?
That's only medieval.
Oh, okay.
That's about, because
Only medieval? Please.
The
Friend
story is
Yes.
that there is another well behind a building about 100 yards away.
Mm-hmm.
And in the Middle Ages, a monk and a nun fell in love. And they knew they couldn't, because they'd taken vows, they couldn't be together.
Like a Romeo and Juliet.
So they literally committed suicide by throwing themselves down this well.
Do you know who went first?
They both went down together
God.
and drowned in the bottom.
Wow.
And they pulled the bodies out, and the bodies, these skeletons in this cellar of this bar, are supposedly the skeleton of the monk and the nun.
That's
the
a
nun
romantic
is
story.
the nun is buried in there under the floor or something,
Yes.
or within the wall. But the monk's body was put on display on a shelf, and his bones, the skeleton, still sits there on the shelf the other side of the well. And they said, well. And they said there's two figures in there. And it said that if you spend the night in the warehouse without leaving, without a light, you get a lifetime's free drinks. And no one's actually ever done it. All these people say on a Saturday night, I'm going to spend the night down there. And everyone gets totally scared. And no one will spend the night in the warehouse.
Alcohol will give you a lot of bravado, but no one has been able to do it. That can't be done.
Because the atmosphere gets really strange down there.
There was a man who did and went mad, wasn't there?
Oh, that was the church around the corner. He
I
went
see.
completely mad, but that's another story.
Oh, okay. All right, we'll have to wait for another story. So
Whatever he saw, he ended up in the asylum and never spoke again. He was just completely mad.
What year was that?
Oh, that was in about 1790.
Oh.
So, but there's another story. That's another story.
Yeah, we have a whole lot of stories.
But anyway, so we've got this strange room which is Roman underneath this bar with a well in the middle. And that's got these two ghosts and the body in there. And you can go down there, particularly if you have a drink, they'll let you down there. And you can go and gawk at the skeleton on the shelf.
But when
he's laying out, he's just lying there.
It's different when you're in there and you can see everything and you're with your friends. But when that door closes...
But even then, it sounds strange because you've got the muffled sound of the bar above you. And it smells really damp because it's a cellar. And you've got the dripping in the well. And even when you're in there and it's daytime and you can hear the music and the bar and everyone's like laughing upstairs, it still sounds really strange and muffled and spooky.
I know, but when there's no one in the bar, that would be
if it was quiet, it would be really strange. And if there was no light, it would just feel really weird.
Wow.
Because you've got the dripping in the well and all kinds of stuff.
Okay,
Well.
That's well. So they liked it. They love it.
Good.
I think I can sense there's somebody on the other side of that screen that is brave enough to spend the night there. What do you think?
No, it's not bravery.
You don't think so? What do you think?
No,
Foolhardy.
Yeah, foolhardy.
All right.
But they just want a lifetime of free drinks.
Well, you know what? Some people back in the day, I would have thought it was worth it.
Yeah.
I would have tried it.
Yeah.
I don't know how drunk you'd
Well, I
have
think
to
if you get really drunk, you pass out, it'd be all right anyway, because you wouldn't be with it.
I don't know. I don't know. Has everyone tried that?
Yeah, apparently. But I think people go down with the idea that they already get scared before they go down. So.
Well, it's creeping me out.
They might not offer that any longer. It used to be what used to be offered. I don't know. It used to be offered that if you could have a lifetime free drinks if you spent the night down there.
So, do you know, since we're talking about Romans, do you know what Romans like to eat?
Oh, fish paste. Rotten fish paste, too.
How do you know about that?
Oh, because he watched the TV program.
You mean on BBC?
Yeah, and they tried it and they spat it out all over the... Yeah.
They did. Romans did eat fish paste, but they also ate a relatively Mediterranean, California kind of diet.
Oh, yeah. Lots of olives.
Yeah, they ate lots of olives. They had bread. Chicken, fowl, as you know,
yeah.
fowl. And we're going to be talking about, did they eat large meals?
Oh yeah, and that particularly if you had a vomitarium was the
Yeah.
best thing, because then you
That
could,
was the wealthy.
yeah, you could just eat as much as you wanted.
Yes.
Then everyone made themselves sick and vomity together, so they all vomited their meals up.
Then they would go
afterwards.
back and eat.
Eat again.
And the interesting thing we learned the other day was that they don't eat. The Romans, when you see these paintings of them all sitting around and eating, you see them laying back and eating grapes, but they would lay down on their bellies.
Oh yeah, you always lie on the couch forward, and kind
Forward,
of everyone
like
so,
this.
So you kind of like this talking to the people across the room,
Which would
'cause
make
it was
me
based
vomit
on
anyway.
Conversation, yeah.
That would make me vomit. It'd be
Yeah,
difficult.
that'd be
Would
very
that be
difficult.
comfortable?
Well, I suppose if you've all eaten like that, you just get used to it, but it can't be very comfortable.
Oh, it doesn't sound very comfortable. What they ate, but right now we have a story called. They're going to reconnect.
Oh, we're back.
We're back.
There we go.
Phew, that's so scary.
Oh, this live stuff.
Okay,
Yeah.
this is called The Clashing of Iron. This is one of the very first stories ever of a ghost in chains, and I believe that this is where it all began. So if you're ready.
I haven't heard this one, so I'm waiting. Okay.
This is from Pliny the Younger. Pliny the Younger was a lawyer, author, and magistrate of ancient Rome. There was Pliny the Younger and Pliny the Elder. This is the Younger.
Pliny the much older.
Much older,
and then
much
baby
younger.
Pliny.
Little baby. Oh, it'd be so sweet. Okay,
Anyway.
so, all right. 1900 years ago, here comes the story of the clashing of iron. There was in Athens a house, large and spacious, which had a bad reputation as though it was filled with pestilence. In the dead of night, a noise was frequently heard resembling the clashing of iron, which, if you listened carefully, sounded like the rattling of chains. The noise would not seem to be too far away, but it would soon start coming closer and closer. Are you scared yet? I'm scared. All right, here we go. And closer. And after this, a specter would appear in the form of an old man, emaciated and squalid, with bristling hair.
Squalid, I like that name.
That's a good name,
word.
yeah.
Good word, rather.
It's a good thing to see him.
Squalid man.
He
yeah.
was squalid with bristling hair and a long beard, and rattling the chains on his hands and feet as he moved. Thank you. You can act it out for me. That would be good.
Yeah,
Okay,
I've decided to act it out.
well, wait, because our podcast people can't see it, but we'll put it up on our
Oh,
website.
that's good.
Okay, that's
Actually,
fine.
Yeah, sorry to you podcast people.
The
My apologies.
unfortunate inhabitants of the house went sleepless at night due to unimaginable and dismal terrors. Without sleep, as it had happened to others, their health was ruined, and they were struck with some kind of madness. As the horrors in their minds increased, they were led on a path toward death.
Sure.
I know. So I wouldn't want to live in that house.
No.
Anyway.
Well.
Eventually, even during the daytime when the ghost did not appear, the memory of their nightmares was so strong that it still passed before their eyes every waking moment. Their terror was constant, even when the source of fear was gone. Because of this, the house was eventually deserted and damned as uninhabitable, abandoned and entirely belonging to the ghost. In hope that some tenant might eventually be found who was ignorant of the house's malevolence, a bill was posted for its sale. As it happened, a philosopher by the name of Athenodorus came to Athens at that time. He read the bill for the house, he easily discovered the price, and being an intelligent man, he was suspicious at its extremely low cost. Someone did tell him the whole story, but he was not dissuaded. He went for it, and he was eager to make the purchase. When evening drew near, Athenodorus asked for a couch to be readied for him, like this one, right at the front of the house. He asked for writing materials and a lamp, and then he asked his retainers to retire for the night so he could be alone. And in order to ensure that his mind stayed focused and away from distractions of stories about imaginary noises and apparitions, he poured all of his energy into writing, which would probably be like watching the television nowadays. Something to keep you busy.
Yeah, just keep your mind away from thinking about it.
For a while, the night was silent. Then the rattling of the fetters began. Husband.
Spooky.
I know. Athenodorus would not lift his eyes or set down his pen. Instead, he concentrated on his writing and thereby closed his ears. But the noise would not stop, and it only increased, and it drew closer. And closer. And then it was at the door, and then it was standing in his very chamber. Finally, Athenodorus looked away from his work and saw the ghost standing just as it was described. It stood there waiting, beckoning him with one finger. One finger. Athenodorus held up his palm as though the visitor should wait a moment, and once again bent over his work. The ghost became impatient, shook his chains over the philosopher's head, beckoning again, and this time Athenodorus picked up his lamp and followed the ghost as it moved slowly, as though it was held back by its chains, but upon reaching the courtyard, the ghost suddenly vanished. Now on his own, Athenodorus carefully marked the spot where the ghost vanished with a handful of leaves and grass. The following day, he asked the magistrate to have the spot dug up. Okay? Now, in that spot was found, intertwined with chains, the skeleton of a man. The body had lain in the ground a very long time and had left the bones bare and corroded by the fetters.
Sure.
The bones were then collected and given a proper burial at public expense. And ever since then, husband,
Yeah.
the ghost of the tortured soul had finally been put to rest and haunted the house in Athens no more. What do you think?
It's quite good, really.
It's a good story?
Yeah.
You like that?
I mean, it's a classic kind of...
I don't even know if they're still there.
Thing.
There's nothing. Oh, well, we're here by ourselves. That's all right. That's all right. Did they all go away? I don't know. They might be gone. Was it my reading? What are you looking at? Don't look.
I was looking at things. Let's carry
I
on.
don't know. There's no one there. Are you guys there?
Let's see if we should
Are we
be
still
recording.
on? I don't know. Okay. Why don't you carry on and let's talk about... Oh, we might have...
Just go and check. Oh, yeah, we're
They're
okay.
there, okay.
We're okay. We got a delayed reaction. I was just about to say, maybe we stopped filming.
We're being needy.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
being needy, yeah.
All right. Okay.
No, I was just worried that we'd stop filming.
Yeah, me too. Did you know that most of the Romans ate with their fingers? There was no...
What else can you eat with?
Well, sometimes they had like antlers and things like that.
No, that's a bit silly, isn't it? You've got fingers you
They
can
did
eat.
too. They had spoons made from bronze and silver and things
I
like
know
that.
it's
and
easier
bone.
to eat with your hands.
It is easier to eat.
I
with
gave
your
up
hand.
lunchtime and just ate everything in my hand.
There, see how very Roman you are.
Chickpeas and everything.
All right.
It was it, yeah.
Okay, so tonight's theme being ancient Rome. We have ancient Roman items. We have ancient Roman ghost stories and tales of the arcane. You have a very good ghost story. Now, it's more than a ghost story. We're calling this one, is it live or is it Memorex? And
Yes.
why are we, do you remember Memorex, husband?
Vaguely.
Okay, it was a videotape.
Yeah, I
commercial.
seem to
It was-
remember some ads. on
It's a
TV.
commercial for a videotape, and it was so good that you didn't know if it was live television or was it the tape, which was of really high quality.
And it would last forever, I think.
Yes. And by the way, Rex in Latin means
King.
Yeah. See, so was it live or was it Memorex? Is the name of our next story. Husband, over to you.
Okay. Well, this story happens in...
Should I show them the ring?
What?
Should I show them the ring while you're talking? No.
No, I'm just fiddling with the ring.
Oh,
as
I'm
talking.
sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So this story is set in York, in northern England. Now, England had two provincial capitals. Its main capital was Londinium, London, and the capital of the north was York. Now, York was very important, and it had a bit of a bad reputation because two emperors died there. Constantinius, who was the father of Constantine, and Septimus, someone of the Septimus...
Maximus?
No, it's like that. But anyway, two Roman emperors died there, and unfortunately, each of these deaths caused civil war because there was a feud post their deaths, and almost immediately the Praetorian Guard, which were in York with both of the emperors, would start fighting with the other legionnaires because people would then fight for power. So it was an important city. Anyway.
So how far away is York? York, from where we were in the south, heading down towards Land's End. York is actually at the other end of
It's going up towards Scotland. So from here, it's about 400...
Yeah, 500 miles?
400 miles.
Okay.
So in York, in 1953, there was a young 18-year-old apprentice plumber who was putting in a new central heating system to what was called the Treasury building in York, which was a medieval building with lots and lots of interlocking cellars underneath and these kind of subterranean rooms which go back hundreds of years. And they were also they were digging the floor up, and they'd gone down and reach the Roman road underneath, which is kind of important to the story. So in the middle of this room, there had been an archaeological dig a week or so before. They hadn't filled it in. And so there was a hole in the floor, a trench, and you could see the Roman floor underneath. Now, if this is potentially linked, I don't know. Disturbance may be part of it. I really don't know. But it just seems that they happen to have been digging up the floor, hit the Roman floor, then these apparitions happen at the same time.
They're more than apparitions, though.
Yeah, they're more than apparitions, which I'll tell you in a moment.
Okay.
So maybe the fact that they've been digging is kind of pressed the play button, as it were.
Oh, that's a good analogy.
So the activation of the stones.
Yes.
I mean, one of we will talk about this more in future, but one of the theories of hauntings is the stone tape theory. The stones are able to record, and one of the elements which is really interesting is some of the highest recorded hauntings are built of houses which have stone with a really high quartz quality.
Yep, just like in the recording Memorex tapes. They like that.
Quartz is what's used in recording.
Yep, just like we do when we record in broadcasting.
And someone did some research several years ago, maybe like 20 years ago, and they actually started analysing the building materials of haunted houses, and they found if your house was an old house and it was built of stone with a high quartz in it. Yeah, this has got quartz too.
We have a 450-year-old building, and it's made of old stones full of quartz.
Yeah, the stones come from a 1,000-year-old abbey, so they're each side of the house. But let's stay with the story. So that's the point, that potentially the stones can record.
Yeah.
And there's also an even stranger theory out there put by quantum physicists, that maybe stones aren't inanimate and they have consciousness, but that's another story for another conversation.
Well, wait, but that's not a bad part to come in and say that it's true that minerals, that it's the physical consciousness, that they say minerals like gemstones and crystals have an awareness, a consciousness.
This is what some scientists are beginning to say.
Yes.
Consciousness may not need a brain, but that's for another day.
Right.
Let's get back to the story.
The Romans.
The Romans. It's 1953. Let's poll back to 1953. There was a young trainee plumber working on his own in a cellar in this ancient set of cellars underneath his building, and then he starts hearing this sound. It's not music; it's sound. It's like, and then he goes, and then a few seconds later he hears. And then he's hearing this, thinking, well, what is it? It must be a drill, it's the radio, what is it? It starts to go, and it starts to get really loud, like,
Oh, wow, that's exciting.
And it sounds much more like a horn, but really loud, like really bassy, like big horn, but he can't.
Grand.
Yeah. And then as it gets really loud, a car at the head of a horse comes through the wall.
That's insane. Seriously?
But only up to its knees. So it's not walking at the level
of the current ground.
Of the current ground, the medieval ground. And then following this horse is a cart. And then following the cart are several men on horseback. But he described, and by which time he's terrified. And the men on horseback are Roman soldiers.
Are they see-through?
No, they're really solid. And he said that's the thing that scared him. He said,
that's interesting.
He said if it would have been ghosts, if they would have been kind of transparent, he would have been able to cope with it.
Yeah.
But he said that he could hear them talking.
Oh, wow.
It was like the echo. He could just hear that. He couldn't understand the language, but they were talking to one another. They were unshaven, covered in mud. And he was able to describe all of the details. Now, this becomes a possession. And then literally somebody with a horn, a great Roman circular horn. Is going,
was it brass or something?
Yeah, something like that. And he physically can see the details. He can see the details of the dress, the armour, the swords. And these are physical people walking without any legs. And then what he does see is, by which time he's also fallen off the ladder because he's fallen backwards and he's cowering in the corner. But he can see as they walk through the trench that their feet a hole when they get to the Roman road, because the archaeological trench runs in the middle. You can see that they're actually physical and look really solid, but you can only see all of them and their feet and their sandals, because they are wearing sandals. When they're on the, you can see the trench onto the Roman road.
That's crazy.
Anyway, he describes these, and he doesn't say this for several years. And when he does, it hits the press later. He tells his friends he doesn't want to be seen like looking like, oh, I'm a crazy guy. But a few years later, he does tell his friends because it's been bothering him.
Well, yeah.
And the newspapers found out and started writing about it, and he became quite a celebrity.
And he probably got a lot of crap.
And he got a lot of crap because all the people said these details are wrong, because he described the uniforms. He says they're wearing green, and they said no, they should be wearing red. And he said they had big circular shields, and they said no, Romans always have the they have the oblong shields with the thunder flash in the middle or whatever. Right. And he said that, they had their swords on their right side and not their left side. And they said that's not right. They're going to be most of them right-handed. It will be on the left. So for years, the people argued that the reason his story didn't work was because he got the wrong facts.
Right.
And then they had an archaeological dig, this is in the 1950s, in the 1990s,
yes,
close to this place, on the centre of the Roman barracks, where they would have been going towards. And he proved certain things.
Oh my God.
Circular shields.
Get out.
They were auxiliary soldiers, and auxiliary soldiers don't have circular shields, and he would never see this in a 1950s movie. He wouldn't know they were circular shields.
You're saying that the history at the time in 1953 did not say, or we did not know, but in 1990s they were proven by a dig that he was right. What about the green? What about the green?
And they found fragments of Roman uniforms in the mud, and it was green cloth.
Get out of town! Seriously.
Yeah, and they also found some short stabbing swords which were worn, would have to have been worn on the right and not the left, and everything proved him right. But this happened between 1990 and 2002. Yeah. And in the 1950s and 1960s and 1970s, they said, great story, but your details are wrong. And then decades later, they dug it up and proved his story.
So he's been proven correct, but he saw them as real physical beings.
Really, very physical.
Like you and me. Like
he said you could see the sweat on them. You could see the hair. I don't know how it was lit. I don't know, but he said he could see them as physical. He said if he would have been braver, he knew he would have done that. They would have been physical. Yeah, they weren't spectres at all, as you would see like a phantom. They were physical people, talking, joking, looking tired, unshaven, and you could just tell they were about to get home.
And so, were they ghosts?
And I'm shouting,
that's okay.
I forgot
the passion. It's passion.
I know.
You're in spiritus.
It's true.
Isn't that Roman Latin for spirit?
Yeah.
Spiritus.
Yeah, it's spiritus.
Well, okay, so were they? What do you think? Now, I can't see the feed because we are far away. We can only see little, your emoticons, I guess you call them. Was that a memory? Was that actually like a videotape being played, like a hologram?
Oh, and of course, there's another part of the story I should add. Oh. And then in 1957, the warden, a woman took over to run the building upstairs, the upper building, because it's what's on top of the cellar is this important building. And she had a couple of dogs. And on 3 occasions in 1957, she had reasons to go down into the cellars. On 3 occasions, she saw the same. But they were different Roman soldiers in same kind of uniforms, but doing different things. So it wasn't quite like the same memory. And to end the story, when this poor guy who was only 18, they finally went away, he just made a dash for upstairs, and he came running out, and he ran into the guy that was the warden upstairs who worked there for years. And the warden just looked at him and says, "You've seen the Roman soldiers, haven't you?" And he went,
"Oh my God!"
Yeah, and he was just like, "Yeah," because he'd been a warden there, and he just like, "Oh, you've seen the soldiers." Yeah. But so there were certain outbreaks of this happening, and 57 it started happening again. It could still be happening because people aren't going down there. It's not a used space. We don't know.
Ancient Rome still left a lot of footprint here in Britain.
Yeah, very much so. And the other thing is, it's the point that we think of ghosts as being very relatively recent, between like anything from now back a few hundred years, 400, 500, 600 years. But you're thinking of a tape that's replaying from 2,000 years ago.
But there's so much
I say
that
a tape because we don't know what it is.
We have no idea. You know, the more that we find out, the more we realize, the less we know.
Absolutely.
It's true. And do you find that ghost stories that are older are scarier than ghost stories? Like if you could say there's somebody who died in this house, I don't know, in 2008.
Yeah, a bit boring.
Was
really.
that scary?
Not really.
It's more scary if it's older, isn't it?
I think so. But maybe it's more scary from 2008 in a way. It's more dramatic. It has a kind of a rich drama to it. It's more theatrical.
What if they died in 2008?
No, it's that like you've got like costume and history and all the rest.
I guess
and I think in a way, if it would be a bit scarier if it was from 2008.
You just counteracted what you just said.
I know. I thought about it, and then I thought yes, and then I thought, well, actually, no, it might be a bit scarier. Somehow.
What if they died in your bed? Would you sleep in a mattress that somebody died on?
Well, if you go to hospital, you're always sleeping on mattresses.
That is a true story, and not everything.
I hate to say, and a lot of hotel rooms too.
Oh, that's you know who has a good story? Michaela has a great story about a hotel room. Literally, yeah, amazing, and because there's a lot of activity. Wink, wink. That happens in hotel rooms.
Oh yeah, a lot of people sadness. It's places that they go after.
The hotel room?
Yeah, a lot of things happen in hotel rooms.
That's absolutely true.
Because people go and they want to top themselves or they've lost money. It's a lot of emotion happens in the hotel rooms, more than you would think.
That's true. That's why when I was telling you about Vegas, when you go, oh wow, so this is the capital of debauchery. This is sadness. This is loss. This is lust, greed, all of that. And so these hotel rooms, not all of them are happy honeymoons.
Yeah,
Some
I mean,
are.
there are places where you think where things do happen. There's a certain building which you have lots of emotion, and it seems that the hotels are one of them because
that's true.
Why people
hotels,
go?
Hospitals.
Hospitals, obviously, yeah, because people are scared, and the visitors too are often upset. So it is hospital. Anyway,
we can do.
So we have this strange haunting in.
Was it live? Or was it Memorex? We still don't know.
We don't know, but what we do know is that this guy's... It's a really interesting story because he never changed his story and he never took any money for it. Because people say, oh, he made the story up, but he always refused to take money. He always said, give to a charity if you interview me. And he never changed his story, and it was under pressure from historians for decades. He kept to his story, and he said, no, you're wrong. There were circular shields and they wore green. And the historians were like, you're wrong. They didn't wear that. And only now do they have more information.
He's alive and he's vindicated.
He's alive and vindicated.
What's the Latin word for thank God? Yay, we're vindicated.
Vindicaros.
Vindicatus elephantus.
Feline.
Feline.
Feline comes walking in.
We studied Latin for like 5 minutes in 2010, I think, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we remember
this is
feline.
Feline.
And elephantus is...
Elephantus.
Yeah, and wait, no. But there's a few other things we remember, but... I just remember elephant and cat.
I just remember
which is extremely
useful
when we're
if
in
you
Rome.
meet a Roman ghost. And there's that's a funny story in the museum.
Oh yes, this is good. No. I don't even know how many people are still with us. I'm not running a timer, so I have no idea.
Oh,
but yes, no. We should tell them.
Yeah,
this is a story.
I was in Exeter Museum, and there was a couple of people that were in living history, so they were dressed up as authentic Roman soldiers, and they'd been working with children or doing some things. And there was a woman in there talking to this guy who was dressed in her as a Roman soldier. And this poor old lady thought she was talking to the ghost of a Roman, and I could hear her, and she was saying, my mother could see you too. And the guy dressed up as a Roman was going, yeah, most people can see me. Yeah. And she said, I know it's amazing, but I must have the gift too, because my mother could see you. And obviously this poor woman thought this man dressed as a Roman soldier was a ghost.
Did he play along with it?
He kind of...
I would have.
I can't remember. He kind of did.
Boom.
No, he didn't do that. He kind of, I think he thought this woman's slightly crazy lady. Yes. I'm going to make a ghostly excuse and just drift away. Yeah, but it was quite funny. Just hearing her explaining how she thought, how her mother could see them too.
I don't know. Is it hereditary, being able to see ghosts? I don't think so.
Well, I think in some cases there are certain aspects of abilities being
passed down,
supposedly passed down in certain traditions. But I think it really is up to the individual.
I do believe it is individual as well. I don't know, but then
well,
again,
maybe
it's only my perception.
Well, maybe certain families don't squash the psychic abilities. Maybe if there's a tradition that it's okay to see things, and they don't kind of tell the children it's not a silly idea. Maybe that's what does it. Maybe it's not that it's passed down as a gift. Maybe there's a certain dynamic in a family, which means that if children start saying, "Oh, we've seen," they don't say, "Oh, an imaginary friend." They say, "It's okay, we see them too." And so when that child moves from that kind of 3, 4, 5 age, when they're open to things, they say, "It's okay, you can keep on seeing them." And you don't, as soon as you put the idea into the child's head to be an adult and not to see things and not to kill the imagination and to kill the idea that there's other things possibly there.
I think that's brilliantly said.
I think that's what does it. I think it's the dynamic of the family and not the gift which is genetically handed down.
Very well said, husband. I think we're coming up probably on 50 minutes.
I think we probably are.
Feels like we've only been here 5 minutes. I don't even know if they're still there. I have absolutely no idea.
They've all gone. They just
you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to
show them the dolphin.
Okay, no, I'm going to actually look and see who's on because I can't tell. We might be sitting here talking to ourselves.
Well, it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter. No, that's true.
Just before we go.
Oh my God! I think we're actually by ourselves.
Never mind.
Oh,
doesn't matter. Other people will watch us later, so
that's
we just show the dolphin.
Hopefully we can show this later. We might actually be showing this just to ourselves. I have no idea.
We maybe.
Okay, what are we looking at? What are we looking at?
This is a dolphin. This is a Roman brooch.
Can you guys see us? If you can see us. Oh, they can see us!
Oh, God, we're not alone.
Okay, good.
Oh, just a dead Roman soldier. It's just a Roman brooch where you can see the little pin there where it opens. It's called a dolphin. They're very common. They fasten the garment or it's like a giant safety pin.
Oh, that's interesting. Would that go on a cloak?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It wouldn't be a particularly heavy cloak. It would probably go into a tunic because slightly bigger ones go
What about a
cloak.
subligacaloom?
Oh, yeah, definitely go on one of the your spangly version, yeah.
For an extra exciting, for your underwear. It's subligacaloom. That's it, subligacaloom.
Yeah, subligacaloom and some rotten fish paste.
Okay, so...
You poor souls, we've tormented you long enough, probably.
I don't know what's more horrifying, the fact that we've gone on so long or our scary stories. Look, that's from you. You made me do.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and do this again next Saturday night, 10:30, which is UK time. We have not been able to see any of the feed. So anybody who's...
we apologise for all you people making comments because we know you're going to be making comments, but we can't see you. So we apologise for that, but we get back to you.
And what we'll do is we'll go through the feed and we'll answer the questions, but we wanted to give you a more professional vibe and give you the mics and be able to give you a camera shot that's at least fair.
Because we can play, because last week it was all like nostrils and like this.
It's totally like this. It's like this, hello husband. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and this is going to be available on, iTunes has not been approved yet. We'll see. But we are on SoundCloud. You can find us on YouTube. Please like us over on Facebook.
And for now, if you go onto Facebook and join us on, like us, because the photographs of the jury and things will be put onto Facebook. Stories of the Standing Room, and then that's where you'll see the details of the stuff.
And we'll show you those pictures, and not only that, but we would love your submissions of your tales from the arcane.
Yeah, we want to hear strange and wonderful stories.
And we can take requests on things that they want facts and folklore and stories on, because we're going to do the Vikings next week.
Haunted underwear.
Haunted. Subigagaloom! Woo! You know what? I know for a fact that there is underwear out there that you don't want to come close to, and you certainly don't want it coming in.
Don't you? Yeah. Yeah, there's probably some spooky stuff out there. Yeah.
No, just think about it. Seriously.
I'm pulling back.
I'm going to go ahead and...
I'm
okay,
pulling
do you want me to... No, I can't. Okay. I was going to...
I've lost the thread here. I've got no idea what you're talking about.
Haunting dirty underwear.
Yeah.
Why?
How did
that happen? Yes. How did that even... How are we
I don't know. I'm not even there. You're there.
But the Romans... That's true. The Romans did wear underwear occasionally. Usually the wealthy would wear underwear. But there's outside tunics and there's underneath tunics. Really quick, I can give you some of those words. Oh, the word for in Latin for ghost is...
Spookius.
Sanctus.
Oh, is it? Spirit?
Yes, that spirit is in spiritus, in spiritum. Spiritum. But the word for ghost in Latin would have been sanctus.
Sanctus.
Isn't that
Which is a really nice name. I like the name Sanctus.
Isn't that beautiful? Just the spirit. So what we're going to do is we will review our feeds. We will see you on SoundCloud, on YouTube. We will see you on... iTunes. We'll be there as much as we possibly can. And we will try to keep it live here on my personal Facebook, which we are using you as our, what do you call that?
Guinea pigs.
Yeah, guinea pigs. I'm so sorry. You guys are so great. Thank you so much.
We love you.
We love you. We love you. I'm going to miss them. I wish we could keep them on all the time.
God, that would be so boring.
No, I know. It's totally G-rated because our computers are porn-free. So there's absolutely nothing really exciting going on here. It's true. It's true.
Let's just say bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye. Now that's really scary than thinking about it. All right, stay
God
with
help
us.
us.
All right, here we go.
Anyway,
all right, bye, everybody.
bye-bye.
We love you very much. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Okay, wait. I think we're still live. And I can't come off. Okay, we're good.
Yeah.
No, we're still live. We're still live. We're still live. Funny. Oh, my God.
You're going to have to hold that.
All right, and good night.
Good night.
And I can't get it to
Oh,
go.
we want to say bye-bye and we're having such problems.
I can't get it to go.